Hey, how's it going? Today I'm going to attempt to make some sous vide pickles. I've heard they're good, and summer's rolling around and vegetable season is in place, and found some pickling cucumbers at the grocery store, so I figured why not give this a try. Never done this before, but I've done some research, looked around, found quite a few different recipes for it. And I think these will be good spicy dill spears. So what you're gonna need first is some pickling cucumbers. I got these here. I also got some smaller ones. Found those at Costco of all places. Gonna need a couple of bell jars. I'm not sure how many. Make sure they're nice and clean. You're gonna need water. You're gonna need some white wine vinegar and salt and sugar, and then I'm going to add some dill, fresh dill, some garlic, and some crushed red pepper flakes to give them a little more flavor than if they were just regularly pickled with salt and sugar. So first things first, I'm going to get the brine in place. That involves basically taking you can do grams or you can do cups or whatever. So the recipe I found on Chef Steph's actually calls for 400 grams of water, which is about 1 3/4 cups of water, equal amount of white wine vinegar, and then 80 grams of sugar and 20 grams of salt. And the sugar comes to be approximately 1/3 of a cup, and the salt comes out to be about 1/16 of a cup, a little over, more like a tablespoon and a half of salt. So we're gonna mix all those together. In addition, I'm gonna add some red pepper flakes and some garlic and some dill to this, but I'm not gonna do that until I chop these up and see, what it's going to look like inside of the bell jars. Okay, so I'm done mixing the brine up. Make sure you get every last little salt and sugar crystal dissolved in there. And also at this time, you want to make sure that you have your circulator set to 140 degrees. You want to make sure that before you start doing that, you check the water level to make sure it's going to basically just go up to about here or so on the mason jars. You don't want a complete submersion because you want to keep these open just a tiny bit so that hot air can expand out. I got these little cucumbers here and these larger mini cucumbers here. I'm going to crinkle cut the larger ones, and I think I'm just going to halve these smaller ones. They're really small. I think making slices of that would kind of not really work out too well. So I'm just going to halve these, make them like little mini spears or something like that. Okay, I chop these up into little crinkly cut circles. I've managed to get 2 jars worth, 2 pint-sized jars worth. And then I cut up the other ones, like I said, like this. Kind of like spears. I might see if I can fit a couple more in here. I don't know. Anyway, I only have room really for, I think, 3 jars in my current setup here, the way I have it. So anyway, I threw the garlic and the crushed red pepper into the brine. Let it kind of sit there while I chop the stuff up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the sink and stir these up. Add this to the pickles, fill it all the way up almost as high as I can. All right, awesome. So how great does that look already? Pretty awesome, right? I want to eat them right now. Anyway, I just tightened these up, shook them around because there's, garlic and dill and all sorts of junk floating around in there. I filled them almost all the way to the top. Before I put them in, you tighten them and unscrew 1/4 turn. That'll leave just a little bit of space there for these to breathe, I guess, if you want to call it that. So I'll show you real quick my setup, and then I'll drop them in. And these are going to cook for 2.5 hours. Halfway through the top. Make sure they're not on tight. All right, so 2.5 hours, I will be back. Okay, it's now been 2.5 hours, and I'm going to carefully take these out. Still pretty hot, so just be careful. Pretty scalding hot water. And these themselves are pretty warm, so okay. Hot. Okay, so they look pretty good. Going to what you do now is nothing other than seal them up. Seal them up all the way, nice and tight. And then we're gonna let them sit out overnight to cool off. Do not put them in an ice bath, as that could cause an explosion or something. And yeah, they look pretty darn good. Look like pickles to me. They'll kind of floated to the top. But those look darn good to me. So anyway, I'll open these up tomorrow and let you know how they taste. Okay, it's been overnight and I threw these in the fridge this morning so they're nice and cool, which is how I prefer my pickles to be. So let's open these up. They might be a little bit vacuum sealed, so you might need a knife to pry them open. Alright, feels just like a pickle, like you would get in the store. Mmm. They're a little sweet, but very good. Mmm. Nice, very refreshing. These came out perfect. They're not too crispy. Definitely not soggy. And, oh man, they're nice and tangy. And they got a little bit of flavor to them, a little bit of spice, a little bit of garlic, and they're perfect. So, anyway, I would highly recommend this going forward. If you got any questions, leave a comment. If you're interested in any of the equipment I used today, just hit the show more button on the video description and you'll be able to find anything you want there. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.